Whenever you are listening to this message, I hope it plants a seed of hope and belief in you that even the pain of life, the struggles, the disciplines are meant for your good, to shape you, to refine you, to improve you, to help you become the person that you're destined to become. If you've got a big vision, an exciting future, and you know you're destined to do something great with your life, then you've got to use your current situation to better yourself. You've got to expect that the future is going to be better by way of you using your present reality. If you're not willing to do the work today to shape a future, then who are you to be just given a bigger, better, brighter future? But if you refuse to quit and you never settle and you just keep going, you will do something great with your life. Hear my voice right now. You can and will do something special and meaningful and positive in this world if you choose to stay committed to mastery, to getting better, to developing yourself, and to using your life in a really positive and meaningful way. Friend, I want to talk with you today about the pinball principle and how to use your current life circumstances to create a better life circumstance. I want to share with you exactly what the pinball principle means, because if right now you feel like, imagine yourself as a little ball in a pinball machine getting knocked all over the place, feeling like there's no purpose to this, I'm just getting smacked around purposelessly, I want to remind you that it's in this smacking around in the pinball machine that the little ball actually gets where it's meant to go. Yes, it often seems like it's just falling down, tilting down that angled slide or whatever it is in the pinball machine, but the truth is, eventually, after enough hits, it gets to where it's supposed to go. And that's how you win in the game of pinball. You literally cannot win in the game of pinball without smacking that little ball around several times and without it bumping into different sides and different whatever pieces within the machine. And so I just want to remind you that if you think about life as being in a pinball machine, it becomes a little bit easier to endure the times that we get smacked by life. And by the way, as famously, Les Brown, the great motivator, has often said, everyone is either in one of these three camps. Number one, in the middle of a problem, is that you? Going into the next problem, is that you? Or coming out of a recent problem, is that you? All of us are in one of these three places, in a problem, coming out of a problem, or going into our next problem. And this is good news. Why is that good news, JJ? It's good news because what it means is that one thing we can expect through the duration of our lives is a problem. Either we're in one, we're going into one, or we're coming out of one. And if we're coming out of one, it probably means we're getting set up for the next one. But here's the good news. The more problems you face, the better chance you have of getting where you want to go. What do I mean? The more times the little ball in the pinball machine gets smacked around, the better chance it has of going where it's meant to go. And you might say, well, JJ, that the little game of pinball machine is not life. Like, life is way more serious and it's not a game. What I encourage you to think about is maybe it actually is. Maybe it's these moments where we feel like we're being smacked around in life that we're actually being directed to the place we're meant to go. Have you ever thought about that? In fact, have you ever looked back on your life and looked at the problems that you've faced in the past and looked at the struggles that you've endured and the disciplines that you've pushed through and realized that it were those circumstances that actually shaped you and refined you into the person that you are today? In fact, in my life, I found that to be true, and I just wonder for you, maybe you have as well. But have you taken the time to reflect and think through what's happened in your past to find out if those challenges, those struggles, those difficulties that you went through actually put you in a position that you are today, in the position you are today? And if you weren't in the position you are today, you wouldn't be in the position you need to be in to go where you're meant to go tomorrow. Your destiny will be determined by the decisions you make today, and the decisions you make today are absolutely powerfully influenced by the experiences you've had in your past. Why? Because it's our past experiences that shape our minds. It's all the emotional struggles or challenges or actual real-life difficulties that we've faced. And by the way, not to say the emotional struggles aren't real-life difficulties, but I just mean the actual concrete circumstance that we faced. Those things have shaped us. They've molded us. They've literally changed our brains and the wiring of our nervous system to make us who we are today. But let's also remember that who we are today is based on who we believe ourselves to become in the future. And so this is a really important thing for us to get into, because the pinball principle reminds us that it's the painful moments of life, the times where we feel like we're being just smacked around purposelessly, that we're actually being guided and moved in the direction that we're meant to go. But what we also have to realize is different than a pinball machine, we have an opportunity to decide where we actually want to be in our future. But if we never decide where we want to be in our future, then all of the smacking around of life that happens in this metaphorical pinball machine of life, all the smacking around won't actually take us where we truly want to go, because we first and foremost must decide, where do we want to go? What do we want in life? What do we want to experience or do or create or achieve or contribute in the world? You and I, we have to make this decision for ourselves in our own life. And what that means is we've got to look to the future and decide, what do I want that future to look like? What do I want it to feel like? What do I want it to be like? Because our vision of the future will help us decide what we're going to do today. People come to me as a coach in my profession as a coach or just as a friend to say, look, what should I do? What do you think I should do in this situation? And my response is always the same. What do you want? What do you want? Because two people can have the exact same decision to make in front of them. Do I take path 1 or path 2? Or path 3 or path 17? Or anything in between? But those two people can have very different visions of the future that they want to create for themselves. And that vision of the future they want to create, the imagination they have of a different reality for their life, will absolutely be the difference maker in how they make the decision for themselves in that moment when they come to that crossroads in life. Likewise, you and I must decide, what do we want in life? Now here comes the point that I was going to get to earlier, which is you and I can use our current life circumstances to create the life circumstances that we actually want. How do we do this? We have to realize that if we just complain about where we are today, instead of leveraging where we are today, we will not be in the best position to craft a future that we're imagining. And what I mean by that is we can use our current present reality to strengthen certain characteristics or skills or our psychology to prepare us for a bigger, better, brighter future. If we just sit here and sulk and we don't use the circumstance that we find ourselves in, how are we going to get better? Like if you're at the gym, as an example. I don't know if you go to the gym. I do my best to get to the gym, although I've been out for about 3 weeks. I just got back in the other day after being sick for way too long. But I'm back in the gym, and what I know for certain is if I go to the gym and I just sit there and I say, man, this gym just doesn't have the exact equipment that I want. Like, this isn't the exact gym that I want to be in. Now, for me, that's not the case. I love the gym that I'm at, to be sure. But, like, let's say you go into a gym and you're just like, I don't like this equipment. I don't like the environment. Like, I can't get stronger here. Like, I need the different kinds of weights in this place for me to get stronger on bench and squat and power clean and curls and all the things. Like, I need different weights. I need a different setup. I need a different circumstance before I can lift any of these weights. But guess what? If you are given all of those brand new, amazing, high-class, high-quality weights, whatever it is that you're looking for, and you still haven't lifted a weight in the gym that you're existing in, are you going to be better or worse? Worse. It's obvious. It's obvious in this type of circumstance where it's like maybe you're not in the best gym. You're in a rundown. No one's taking care of it. It seems like a bad environment. It seems like there's lots of negativity and people that just are not living life to its fullest. And you're like, man, how am I going to get better here? Well, the truth is, if that's the gym that you have access to right now and you want to get stronger and better and prepare for a better gym to live in, to work out in, you sure as heck better be picking up the weights that exist in your current present reality. If you want to get stronger, that is the option. That's the option. You got to pick up those weights. You got to pick up those weights and you got to get stronger every chance you have until you find yourself placed in an environment that maybe is better. Maybe it's still not perfect, but better. But the only way to get better where you are is to pick up the weights and lift them and use your current present reality and the circumstances you find yourself in. Way too many people sit and sulk and they hope for a bigger, better, brighter future without picking up the weights and lifting them to get themselves stronger in their current present reality. But what I know for certain is that the people that are the best at crafting an amazing, powerful future are the ones that are willing, wherever they are, to do the work required to get to where they want to be. And friend, I just want to encourage you that right now, today, you might not be in an ideal circumstance. You might find yourself in a job or an environment or with a boss or manager or people around you that you're just like, I can't thrive here. This is not my place. How am I going to be my best in a place like this? Friend, how are you going to be your best in a place that's even better if you're not willing to do the work today? If you want to get to a better environment, if you want to get to a better job, if you want to rise in the ranks of leadership, you've got to use your present, current reality to get stronger, to get better, to refine yourself, to develop the leadership skills, the communication skills, the human interaction abilities, so that you can be your best when the time comes for the opportunity to be presented to you that gives you the chance to be in a better environment, to be in a better job, to be in a new leadership role, to be in a different place in your life. But friend, if you don't use your reality today, you're not going to get better. And that's the point of the pinball machine. The pinball has to use all of the little things smacking around. It has to use all the bumpers and all the times it just rolls down slowly and then gets smacked again and moved in a different direction. All of those smacks are moving it in the right direction. Now, friend, I'm not suggesting that it feels good to be smacked around by life. It certainly doesn't. But you know what it does feel better than? It feels better than just sitting in the same spot getting smacked around by life and not using it to your advantage to get to where you want to go. And that's what way too many people do in this life. They just sit there and they hope, which, by the way, quick tangent, hope is a strategy as proven by Dr. Tomasulo, one of the lead researchers in the science of hope, that he reveals in his amazing book, Learned Hopefulness, which I highly recommend. But my point is, hope is a strategy, but if you just sit there and hope without taking action, then it's not going to make a difference. The whole point of hope is to get you to take action, to realize you have agency, to realize you can do something about your life circumstance regardless of where you are, regardless of what's happening. Hope will encourage you to catalyze new and positive change in your life. Without hope, you might not feel the level of inspiration or excitement or optimism to actually do something that could change everything. So if you just sit there and you're like, man, I really hope that the future is going to be better and bigger and brighter and that something good will happen for me, that someone will bring me an opportunity, you are missing out on the perfect opportunity that you have right now. Right now, you have an amazing opportunity. And I hope it feels like I'm preaching to you on a Tuesday or a Monday or Friday. Whenever you're listening to this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I guess I covered all the days. Whenever you are listening to this message, I hope it plants a seed of hope and belief in you that even the pain of life, the struggles, the disciplines are meant for your good, to shape you, to refine you, to improve you, to help you become the person that you're destined to become. If you've got a big vision, an exciting future, and you know you're destined to do something great with your life, then you've got to use your current situation to better yourself. You've got to expect that the future is going to be better by way of you using your present reality. If you're not willing to do the work today to shape a future, then who are you to be just given a bigger, better, brighter future? I believe we can be given gifts and things that we didn't work for and didn't earn as opportunities, as new jobs, as new relationships, as just good things happening. I believe in that fully. But if all we do is just wait for things to be brought and placed in front of us, man, we got to change our attitude. We got to start to realize we've got agency. We can do something about our life. We can take action. We can make decisions. And by the way, if you're not yet taking action, what's holding you back? Friend, I just want to encourage you that there's no better time than right now as you're listening to this. This day that we are presented with is an amazing opportunity for you to start on your dreams and start to move in the direction of your destiny. I just feel so passionately that way too many people are settling for way less than they're capable of. I believe that you have been called and created to do great things, to do something amazing. You have gifts and talents and skills you've even developed. Maybe you don't realize you've been developing, but you've been developing. Or maybe it's been shaped into you by the circumstances that just happened to you in your life. But it's those circumstances, and it's your present life reality that will help you get to where you want to go and do the great things that you've been called and created to do. But you got to stop waiting. You got to stop settling. You got to go for more. You got to decide that you're made for more. You got to say to yourself, I'm destined to do something great with my life, and it starts today. No more waiting, no more hesitating. It starts today, friend. You got to decide. Are you going to use your gifts and your talents that you've been given and start to do the work and make the effort to refine yourself, to develop those skills, to work on your mindset so that you can do something great with your life? You're just going to settle. You know, I don't think you'd be listening to this message at this point if you were someone that was just going to settle for mediocrity and settle for less than you're capable of. I believe that if you're listening to this message, it means you at least have the seed of belief in you that you're destined to do something great, that you're called and created to do something meaningful, special, and positive, to make a really incredible difference in this world for the people that you're here to reach. I don't know if that's 5 people or 50,000 people or millions of people or anything in between all of those numbers. But what I do know is that your life, your voice, your gifts can make a difference in at least one life. And if it can make a difference in one life, then you can certainly make a difference in 10 lives or 20 lives. But the number really doesn't matter. What matters is that you use your gifts in the biggest way possible, that you refuse to settle for anything less than your greatest potential, and you go after your greatness, that you decide that you know that you're here to do something great. And I don't just want to get you hyped and fired up for the sake of getting hyped and fired up. I want to get you excited to believe that more is possible, that you are destined to do something great and meaningful and positive with your life. Because why not? If you can do more, why not do more? If you can become more, why not become more? If you can create and contribute more to more people, why would you not want to do that? One of the greatest things that we have at our disposal as humans is the opportunity to get better, to make progress. And it's in the process of making progress, of getting better, of growing, of learning, of developing ourselves so that we can serve others, that we find so much joy and happiness and enthusiasm. I know I have, and I know so many other people have as well, and you can too. But you got to decide that today is the day. There's no more waiting. There's no more hesitating. You make the decision, and you commit to making your life amazing and incredible, not just for yourself, but for the people that you can reach with your voice, with your message, with your gifts and your skills. And if you feel today like you're just being smacked around like a little pinball in a pinball machine and you are not going anywhere, let me remind you, friend, that eventually the pinball, after enough hits, enough smacks, after enough lost games, that pinball will make it where it's meant to go if the person playing the game refuses to quit. And if you just keep going and you refuse to quit and you just keep going, you refuse to quit again and again and again, you fall on your face, you trip, you fail, you make a big mistake. If you just get back up and you just keep going, you will eventually do something incredible with your life. I don't know if that means a week from now or a month from now or a year from now or a decade from now, but if you refuse to quit and you never settle and you just keep going, you will do something great with your life. Hear my voice right now. You can and will do something special and meaningful and positive in this world if you choose to stay committed to mastery, to getting better, to developing yourself, and to using your life in a really positive and meaningful way. Friend, I hope this message has fired you up and encouraged you to refuse to settle and to go out and take action and do something to move your life forward today. Because if you do that, I know that you can take the next step and the next step and the next step. And if you keep taking step after step after step, eventually you will get somewhere and you will make a positive, meaningful impact in that process on your journey, on your adventure of life. So friend, refuse to settle, just keep going. And if this message has served you, please come back for more. Hit subscribe, hit follow, comment below. Tell me what you have truly valued in this. And if you know that this message could serve someone you care about, please hit that share button and send it to someone you care about right now who could use a message of encouragement, of inspiration, to get them lifted and excited and hopeful for a bigger, better, brighter future, to use their gifts and talents in a really positive way. Until next time, friend, be your best and just keep going. You've got this.